right, let's go, guys. Welcome back to Degenerates. Week 5 is over. I'm feeling good. I need to squeak by these next 2 weeks. I got a bunch of injuries on my lineup. And I squeaked by this week. I just need to squeak by next week. But I'm turning it around, starting from 0-3 to 2-3. Let's go.
I started with a win, skid 3 games, and now we're back with a win. So I'm doing good after this week. It was a little bit of a heart thumper due to the Monday night game, but it's a win, and that's all that matters.
Hey, let's hit the weekly report for week 5. We got the best team, another best team for the Widowmaking drunken jizz lover over there, drunken monkey. He hit the 200 spot, 214.70. Worst team was Greendale Human Being. Nick, it's not looking good for you. Don't do this, bro. You're in the toilet bowl this week with 86.16.
That's brutal.
A couple players of the week. We got Josh Allen, typical 36. Leonard Fournette showing out with 35.9. Gabe Davis, another 32. Travis Kelce from last night's 4 TD game, 33.5. Broncos defense was the best defense this week, 17 points. So shocking.
Nice.
And Carlson for the Raiders was pretty much kicking everything for them. So solid 16 points there. Bench warmers, Geno Smith showing out again. Mozart, you left him on the bench, Zach. You fucked up.
I still won. Don't matter.
Jacoby Myers, who would have known? And Tyler Higbee from the Rams. League awards, we got most efficient manager, Drunken Monkey with a max potential points of 217.3. He got 214.7. Least efficient was Frank the Tank. Only 107.2 over a possible pretty much a 150. Highest points in a loss, QA, Sling Dinker, 134, but still taking an L. That usually gets you a win.
Still dog shit.
Still dog shit. Lowest points in a win, we had Marcus Rickius Rick, 116, but it did the work versus Nate, who only put up a 108.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had the biggest blowout. Sorry, Christy. God damn.
Almost got doubled.
You did get doubled. 214.7 to 109.8. Oof. Narrowest victory, we had Rickius Rick 116.8 versus Nate at the 108. Only an 8-point difference right there. Overachiever, obviously, is Monkey. He was only projected a 147. His guys blew up. He put the perfect lineup in. He had a bunch of 30-point scorers. We're going to get to his lineup. And underachiever is Nick with a potential of 147, but only showed up with 86 because he's shit.
Shit the bed.
Now, let's get into some of these matchups. I'll start with my own matchup since I'm first on top of my phone. I faced Frank the Tank. Frank the Tank was 2-2 going into the matchup. I was 1-3. I ended up taking that victory, 132 to 107. Solid matchup for me. I'm glad I did well, even with Pat Fryermuth getting hurt and only giving me 3 points.
Yeah, that was tough. That was tough.
Yeah, so far for me right here, I had Joe Burrow with a solid 18.2. Derrick Henry showed out for his 3rd game in a row, giving me 27. Miles Sanders and Brandon Ayuk, basic games. I mean, you can't ask for more, but just being positive. They gave me 8 points apiece. Curtis Samuel with a solid 12. Like I said, Pat Fryermuth caught a concussion. He was out the game, but he only gave me 3. J.K. Dobbins, I thought would have gave me another breakout game. Didn't show up, only 4. But like I said, I can only be great that I kept getting positive numbers. Another breakout game for Brees the Beast, man, 27.7.
You've been saying it since the beginning, and you wrote him, and he's been paying off for you, man.
Yeah, his average is starting to climb up. He's a solidified RB1 now in most fantasies.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm an RB-heavy group right now with Henry, Sanders, Dobbins, and Hall. So I'm trying to ride that train right now. McPherson giving me 6, and the 49ers defense got a great defense to hold me down with 16 points. My bench is ass, though. I'm riddled with injuries. Dotson's hurt. Watson's hurt. Bateman's hurt. Allen is hurt. I picked up Algier from the Falcons, but he didn't give me much playing against Tampa Bay. Donovan Peoples-Jones over the last few games have given me what he's been projected, around 10 points. And I do have Odell Beckham Jr. sitting there quietly.
Just in case.
Quietly. He'll be ready week 10.
Just in case. And then Frank over there, he's got Russell Wilson only getting him 11. Rashad Penny got her 5 points. James Robinson was primed to have a breakout game against the Texans. Shit the bed for almost 6 points. Tyreek Hill was shut down by the Jets. Only got him 13 points. Romeo Dubs barely 6. Mark Andrews had a hella game with 22.9, so almost 23 points. Juju didn't do shit for 6.3. Robert Woods 7.7. Daniel Carlson was probably the best thing on his second best thing on his team with 16 points, and the Bills being the third best thing on his team with 13 points. He leaves Kirk Cousins on the bench, would have gotten him, an extra 12 points. He's got Jared Goff.
My thing is watching the way Russell Wilson is playing, why wouldn't you have been starting Cousins?
Yeah, I'm a little that's a question for Frank, because in this matchup, you've got Russell Wilson versus Indy, which is garbage, but Kirk Cousins versus Chicago on non-prime time. I'm taking non-prime time Kirk over I don't remember, Russell Wilson this year. Josh Reynolds 15, DJ Moore 10, Jacoby Myers did have 24. I mean, if he worked his lineup a little bit better, he might have pulled this win out. I'm too lazy to do the math. Actually, I think he would have.
Yeah.
But, is what it is. Gotta be quicker than that.
A win is a win is a win.
Amen.
Moving on next, we have Blacklisted versus Team the Slink Dinker QA. Blacklisted moved up to 2-3. Slink Dinker jumped down to 3-2. Blacklisted putting up 147.3 to 134.6. Good win on Blacklist's side. He needed this. He was 1-3 at the time. Quarterback did not do what he needed, though. Matt Stafford only 11.3. But his run game was well. Nick Chubb, 25.4, and Dameon Pierce, 20.3. Did the job. Also with Kamara on the bottom with 23.4. His run game held it down. Then he had a great wide receiver in Mike Williams, giving him 23.4. Goddard showing him up with 17.5. Godwin with a nice show up of 12.3. And then you can't ask for more from your defense or your kicker just to give you positive points.
Yeah, I mean, on the flip side, a little bit of a questionable moves by QA. Obviously Josh Allen comes out for 36 points. Antonio Gibson barely 7. Josh Jacobs goes crazy for 30. Jamar Chase 12. CeeDee Lamb 10. Obviously, you want better out of both of them. Zach Ertz gets you like the standard 10 for a tight end. But here's the thing. Cordero Patterson's been on IR, and he's still kept him in the lineup. Didn't put him on IR, didn't bench him. Could have had a chance in his one of his flex spots for something else, because he only loses this game by 13 points, and that flex can easily get you 13. So his other flex had Tyler Boyd for 6 points. Justin Tucker, the GOAT, got him 16, and then the Saints defense gets him 6.
I mean, he made one waiver wire move and replaced Patterson.
That's what I'm saying. He's got nothing on his bench that really would help him. Russell Gage got 6 points, but that's not going to get him. I guarantee
you run to the waiver wire list, there's someone out there that gave at least 15 points.
100%. I mean, Taysom Hill is on the waiver wire. Taysom Hill in your flex spot gets you that win. So, you know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll see how it goes for him next week. Hopefully, he kind of pays attention.
Next week up, we got Greendale Yumbang, Nick versus Debo Don't Hurt Me, MJ Goat. MJ Goat takes this win. She is now on a 3-game winning streak after starting 0-2. She is 3-2 right now.
She's Nick apparently paying attention, as she says.
Yeah. Nick taking his first L in a little bit. He is now 3-2. Just a bad game for Nick, 128.6 to 86. Melissa came out. Jalen Hurts and McCaffrey, 1-2 punch. As long as McCaffrey doesn't sneeze and get hurt, we'll give you this type of combo, 27.6, 23.4. Cam Akers is not it, though, but she keeps riding that out.
Yeah, she does.
Debo with 11.2. A.J. Brown with an off night of only 6. TJ Hawkinson, after blowing it up with like 40 points last week, only showing up with 1.6, which is shameful. But she did have Njoku, 14.8. The Lizard King, 13.5. Gano was a solid kicker this year with 10, and Broncos defense, 17 points. She did leave points on the bench. Kenneth Walker, 14.8. I think I would have started Kenneth Walker over Akers. ETN showed up with a decent game, but he's kind of hit or miss. Like I said, Kenneth Walker would probably be my go-to.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I mean, either of them over Cam Akers would have gotten her more points, but I mean, in the end, she wins. On the flip side, Nick just, man, Lamar Jackson, 15.7 points, which is, low for him. Naheem Hines had the perfect chance to step into this game and take over and only got 1.8 points. He got injured as well, I believe. AJ Dillon, 3 points. Cooper Kupp gets his standard, 26. Jalen Waddle gets shut down against the Jets for 5 points. Gerald Everett, tight end over there for the Chargers, only gets 1 point. T. Higgins gets nothing.
Rizzo, 2-run home run.
There we go. Love us some baseball right now. Yankees playoff baseball. Hollywood Brown gets 21 points in flex spot. Mason Crosby, 10 points. And then the Chargers defense, they put up a solid one. They didn't get negative, but, unfortunately, it's just, even on his bench, he couldn't have done anything. He's got the team. He's shown he has the team. This was just a week where they all decided to not be there.
Yes. Marquise Brown, though, has been a solid consistent for him, along with Waddle. But, yeah, he is. And he's going to keep bleeding in the running back position if he doesn't patch that up.
Yeah, he needs to do something.
Next up, we have his brother, Nazi Nate, versus Cap and Cook, Rickiest Rick Marcus. Marcus taking this one 116 to 108. It's a very close matchup, only 8 points in the difference right there. Marcus with still riding Trevor Lawrence, only 12.3 points. Dalvin Cook, 26 points. Barkley, 19.6 points. Christian Kirk and Cooks, his receiver is not showing up, but his running backs have been over the last few weeks. Christian Kirk, only 2 points. Brandon Cooks, only 6 points. Kittle, MIA. What's going up with Kittle every single time? This man is not being targeted, not being looked at.
And he had a fumble to boot.
He has 5 for 6, 5 catches for 6 receptions. That sounded stupid. 6 targets, 5 receptions, 47 yards, though. It just hurts. Montgomery coming back from his injury, a nice 18 points. Duvernay, 12 points, almost 13. And like I said, your kicker and your defense, as long as you're staying positive, you're solid. On his bench, Carson Wentz actually showed up for him for almost 23. Would have been a better plug-in than Trevor Lawrence. And besides that, he's shot in the bench too.
Yeah, man, injuries are just taking a toll on everybody. The same thing goes for Nate. Nate, who started off 2-0 hot and is now on a 3-game losing streak. Cool. Kyler Murray only putting up 17. He's just not fantasy viable this year. Joe Mixon goes for 11. Kareem Hunt only gets you 14. DK going for 17, almost 18. Olave gets the touchdown, but get injured early on the touchdown, so he sits right at 15.4. And then Darren Waller with his injury, he played like 3 blocking snaps, and then goes out on injury, so he puts up a goose egg. Terry McLaurin, 12 points. Elijah Moore, we've talked about it in regular episodes of Breaking Down the Tape. Elijah Moore just has been absent.
He's just getting outshined by Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, he only had four targets, 1 reception, gets him 2.10 points. Brandon McManus, 10 points, and then the Buccaneers defense, 7. So, I mean, look, he loses by 8 points here, and 8 points is your tight end. 8 points is Darren Waller, being half of what he's supposed to be. I mean, 8 points is putting Chase Claypool, who he has on his bench, for Elijah Moore, who only gets 2 points. And there you go. You know what I mean? So, unfortunately, it's just one of those weeks where the shit does not break in your direction.
Yeah, and that's with Chris Olave also leaving the game. He could have gave a couple extra points.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, with his 1 touchdown, he got injured.
So that's just rough on Nate. Moving on over, we got the Drunken Monkey Widow making death jizz versus Christy. X gonna give it to you. Christy taking this L. Monkey just going off this week, 214.7 to 109.8, just doubled her. Monkey just plugged in every right player this week. Patty Mahomes, 30.4. Jeff Wilson, 20.2. Leonard Fournette, 35.9. Justin Jefferson, 30.3. Travis Kelce, 33.5. Gabe Davis, 32. I mean, Sutton even gives you your solid 12.5. I mean, Davis was the only down part, but still positive points with 6. And like I said, kickers and defenses are positive.
I mean, look, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players scoring 30+ points.
Yeah.
5 players scoring. That's 100.
I mean, if he easily could have fucked up and put in one of the running backs or wide receivers on his bench and it would have flip-flopped some things, he would have still won, but
right. I mean,
it would have.
Christy on the flip side here, you know, Jimmy Garoppolo game manages. He's not really great for fantasy. He gets the 18 points. Austin Eckler, 35, almost 36. James Conner, injury, 7.3. Devonta Smith, 18.7. Jerry Jeudy, that offense is awful, 8.3. Dalton Schultz, 1 target. He also is dealing with injury, 0 points. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 6. Mike Evans, 12. Dustin Hopkins is out, you know, so 0 there. And the Packers, 3. I mean, look, no matter what, I think Monkey would have beat her. But I mean, injury with James Conner, injury with Dalton Schultz, injury with Dustin Hopkins.
She was upset about the kicker situation. She didn't get to swap him out in time. But
he's not getting you 100 points. Your kicker's not getting you 100 points.
You don't know. You kicked nothing but 60-yarders.
Yeah, right. All game. Just receive the ball, kick the field goal. Receive the ball, kick the field goal.
And last but not least, we got the Book of Mormoms versus B Champs. Book of Mormoms on a 1-game winning streak, 2-3 now, 134.5 to 123.7. B Champs is now on a 2-game losing streak, 2-3 as well. I mean, I'm gonna take Zach's list. Now I let Zach talk his own list. We got B Champs over here with 16.8 for Aaron Rodgers. Najee Harris hasn't been showing up as of late.
Not at all.
6. I mean, anything with the Steelers organization is not going to be showing up.
True that.
Aaron Jones, he kind of splits a lot of fucking reps with Dylan, so you never know who really is going to be going off. He only got 10 points. Mari Cooper with 20.6. 50 Bomb Lockett with not 50, but 27.4. Tight end with a solid 8 points. Ramon Stevenson, 19.5. And then, you know, positive points from everybody else, but not enough. But on his bench, he left Geno Smith with 24. Played better than Aaron Rodgers, surprisingly. Tony Pollard, 14.6. I don't know how you don't start Tony Pollard.
He's the best running back in Dallas.
I mean, if you start Tony Pollard over Najee Harris, you potentially can close the gap.
With 9 points, he'll fall just short, but it would have been closer. So I went into Monday night down by 14. So I was actually really fucking pressed. I had Devontae Adams. But yeah, so we've got Justin Herbert on my side. Kind of fell a little bit short, 14.4. Melvin Gordon, Melvin Gordon gives me enough. Remember, for everybody who's like, oh my God, I can't believe you have Melvin Gordon. I went 0 RB. Okay, so I'm doing all right. Michael Carter, 17.3. Devontae Adams does what he needs to do for me, gets me the win, 27.4. Stephon Diggs, 24.2. Hayden Hurst, who I just recently acquired in a trade, does finally a trade works out in my favor, does me a solid, puts me up a 17 spot. Michael Pittman, who I love, but I just can't trust in this offense, only gave me 11. Garrett Wilson, 5.7. Young Ho Koo started off the game missing a field goal, so he just blanked it out at 0. And then the Eagles defense only got me 4. I could have and should have started Raheem Mostert, who was on my bench, in place of Garrett Wilson, and that would have just solidified the victory even more. But in the end, doesn't matter. I'll take the dub.
A win is a win is a win.
A win is a win is a win.
Now coming down to the standings, Monkey 4-1 in the Gridiron division. Captain Cook 3-2. Me, myself, I will burrow you in the ground 2-3. Frank Fantasy Football Team 2-3. Nazi Nate 2-3. X gonna give it to you 2-3. It's just everybody's in the fucking hunt. Then you go over to Death Valley. You got QA in the top 3-2, tied with Greendale Human Being 3-2, tied with MJ Goat, Melissa Debo Don't Hurt Me 3-2. Then we got Zach at 2-3, Blacklisted at 2-3, and B Champs at 2-3. Oh man, this is just getting fucking wild. Everybody's 2-3, 3-2, and then you got your 1-4-1.
Can I say, if you look at the points for, I have scored the second most points in the entire league.
Yes, you have.
Just saying. So 0 RB is viable. The manager just sucks.
I'll take it.
That's all I have to say on that shit. I'm not looking forward to the week 6 matchup.
I mean, week 6, we'll go real quickly. We're not going to go into too deep of the lineups because no one has set their lineups just yet. But just looking at it going into week 6, we got I'm going against Blacklisted, 2-2-3s, both on winning streaks. Blacklisted is projected higher right now, 136 to 120. I'm never gonna not bet on myself, so I'm gonna go on a 3-game winning streak.
I'm already taking you, man. We can't. This is an anti-blacklisted podcast. You know, he does so well with it too. He really does take it in stride. But yeah, I got you in this one.
Next up, we got QA versus Frank Fantasy Football Team, both on losing streaks. Frank on a 2-game, QA on a 1-game. QA's 3-2, Frank's 2-3. This was a close one, 103.5 to 102.2 on the favor of Frank. I'm gonna say QA takes it though.
I was just looking if QA can do something about Cordero Patterson and that IR spot. You know, I think if he pays attention to that, I definitely got QA in this one.
Then we got Greendale Human Being versus Cap and Cook, Nick versus Marcus. Battle of 3-2 teams. One's on a 1-game losing streak. One's on a 1-game winning streak. Greendale Human Being is projected 137.7 to 126.3 for the victory. This one's a tough one. I'm going to go Marcus because of the running backs.
Give me Marcus because Nate dares have A.J. Dillon against the New York Jets. So give me Marcus.
Then we got the Widow-Making Detches versus the Book of More Moms. Both on winning streaks. One's on a 3-game. One's on a 1-game. Projection as of right now is 113 to 21 in favor of the Book of More Moms.
Yeah, because he benched everybody. If you look, he only has Justin Jefferson starting.
I know. I'm going to go with the Book of More Moms. I need this man's winning streak to come to an end. I think Zach can pull it off.
You know, Devontae Adams is on a bye, so I got to do something about it there. But yeah, I've got Devontae Adams on a bye.
You got Amon St. Brown.
What? Yeah, Amon-Ra St. Brown's on a bye, so I got to do something about that wide receiver spot. So I'm gonna have to be working the waiver wire and some trades pretty heavily. But yeah, of course I'm gonna bet on me. We can't let the Drunken Monkey win. I think we should talk to the commissioner about points or something in this aspect. But anyway,
wink, wink,
nudge, nudge.
And my phone just died on me. Last but not least, we have Christy X going to give it to you versus
Team B Champs. Nice setup there. I love the lob. So we've got Team B Champs, Christy. Christy is favored to lose 122 to 128. But it's looking at these lineups, it really can go either way. I'm not going to go against
the lady of the house because I like to sleep in my own bed. I'm going to bet on Christy. I think she has I think she has a better chance of pulling that out. Let me just say it like that.
I think I've got Christy too in this one. Yeah, I've got Christy too in this one. And we did forget one matchup. We do have Debo Don't Hurt Me in the MJ Goat versus Nazi Nate. MJ is on a 3-game winning streak. Nazi Nate on a 3-game losing streak. And as of right now, MJ is slated to win, but Nate doesn't have a wide receiver or a tight end currently starting. So, who you got?
What's the projection?
What?
What's the projection right now?
Projection right now, as far as Nate not having a starting wide receiver or a tight end, we've got Melissa 131.57 to 102.20 or 102.78.
Give me Nazi Nate because me and Melissa were talking hella shit this morning, and I think she's cheating.
You know, we down for the gang on this podcast. Down for the gang. She talks shit on you. She talks shit on me, boy. Even though you threw me under the bus, bitch ass. Anyway, give me Nate. Give me a Melissa loss joining the 3-3 gang. There you go. That's what I got.
That is week 6. Stay tuned for next week. Let's see where the standings stand next week when I'm 3-3 and I'm closing the gap and I'm getting ready to take hold of this championship title again.
You could take hold of these nuts.
Fuck you. That's so what I said.